The Japan Diaries, Diary 7. Today I went to reconciliation because tomorrow Patsy and I, and Patsy's sister Florence, and a few others are going to go on a mission trip to Zambia. So I thought it would be a really good idea to prepare, because for big spiritual things it's best to go in on a clean slate. So I went to the sacrament of reconciliation today. Actually had a really nice little pilgrimage because I had found that over the last 2 or 3 days my life has been pretty noisy, just a lot on my mind. And then I watched Jen's video about silence, which was really powerful, and how we need to seek that silence. And these are things I hear often, but it was so good to have that reminder, just like, oh yeah, I definitely need silence. So I did a little pilgrimage today, and yeah, I've been pretty negligent with the rosaries, so I prayed that on my walk, and then I walked to the train station. I actually stopped over at my godson's house and picked up my rosary beads because I had left them there yesterday accidentally. So it was cool because then I got to see him and he's the best. So did a little detour there. So I walked to his house, got my rosary beads, which is good because I love these ones. These are special ones, and I really want them for Zambia. And yeah, there's been a whole journey with these ones, so that's another story. But I went to the train and then got the train to go to mass and go to reconciliation, which was really good, really refreshing, because reconciliation as a sacrament is so powerful. But also reconciliation, reconciling with other people, is also very powerful. And I'm going to share about how a little reconciliation experience really changed and healed me, actually. Healed me miraculously. So just through reconciling with someone else. So this year, I had like a week or about 2 weeks in a row, I started to feel this very big weight on me. And it felt like I had felt in the past, because I used to have really low iron, so really used to be afflicted by that, but God healed me back in the past of that, and that was through miraculous healing, which I'll talk about another time. But so I had been healed, I say last year of that, but then this year it felt like that same feeling when I was really my iron levels were really low. They were like actually at 0 basically, because this year I just felt this absolute tiredness, this fatigue, and it was like bone tired. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like within me, it was just so much and so heavy, and so I struggled with this. But then during this time I had this dream, and it was about one of my friends who I had a big disagreement with, and there was like a lot of lack of closure in this friendship. And in this dream I saw like the other side of things, and I saw the really good qualities in this person. And I woke up and I was like, hey God, interesting dream, but I really felt I started to have this compassion for this person, and I didn't realize I must have been holding a grudge against them, and this grudge had kind of snuck up on me. And so I was like, okay, why did God give me this dream, and should I say something to this person? And then I felt like, oh, maybe I should apologize for them. And I didn't think I was completely in the wrong, but I knew that some of the things I had said had definitely hurt them. So I felt, and sometimes I did, definitely muck up. So I felt like, okay, maybe an apology is due. even though it had been a long time since a disagreement, and we kind of just got along, but without ever addressing it directly. And our friendship was never the same as it was, because we used to be really close, but we just kind of just accepted each other. But it was a bit tense, and we kind of just accepted that. But then I was having this dream and this kind of understanding that maybe I should forgive, or say apologize to this person, and maybe that's what I need to do to grow spiritually. So I felt like that, and then I had another dream, and it was quite vivid and detailed. And in the dream, I was talking to the person, and I had the whole full-out apology, because I wasn't sure what I really wanted to say, or how to show how sorry I felt. And so I had that in the dream, and then I woke up and I was like, okay, clearly I need to do this. I need to get this off my chest and just really apologize. And then God gave the opportunity for that week to apologize to that person and to just say sorry, like really from the heart. And we became reconciled through that, and it was really good. And we hugged, and they said, like they were like I needed, like they needed that, but they also could see. They said, "Oh, I can clearly see you needed that as well." So that was really good, because the day after that, I felt like that big weight of fatigue was lifted, and suddenly I just felt like on top of the world. Like even my faith just felt so alive. I could hear God much more clearer again, and just so full of life, and the fatigue had completely gone away, and I was really healed of that affliction. And that's how much holding a grudge or unforgiveness was weighing me down. And so that I could really learn, wow, reconciliation is so important and is so healing for us, that how important it is to say sorry to someone, even if we don't think we're completely in the wrong, or even if we're partially in the wrong, but just to say sorry, because I knew I had hurt my friend, and that was what mattered, and I wanted to apologize for that. And yeah, I was so healed through that. So I really encourage you, if there's any person you may hold a grudge against, or maybe there's some conflict that you've just set aside and just not dealt with, but I encourage you to bring that to the light, because when we bring that to the light, that's where healing can happen. So encourage you to reconcile with your friend. And it says Jesus teaches us about forgiveness, and he tells us this parable about the unforgiving servant. And I'll just read this few first lines, where it says, "Then Peter approached, asked him, 'Lord, if my brother sins against me, how often must I forgive him? As many as 7 times?' And Jesus answered, 'I say to you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Yeah, so a lot of times. And 7 for God is like the perfect number, so the perfect amount of times. And 7, what does he say? Not 7 times, but 77 times. So the ultimate, full, complete amount of times. So that might mean it's not just a once off, I forgive you, but it's a continual process if necessary. But for me, that was a big, the big finale, I guess, of I forgive you and you forgive me. And there was a lot of peace from that. So reconciliation is so powerful. And this parable of the unforgiving servant, and in this parable there's this king or master, so it's like the king, and he has this servant who owes him a heap of money, and like a massive debt, and he asks the king to have mercy because you won't be able to pay it off. And the king does have mercy and compassion on this servant, and he lets him off, and, you know, he gives him another chance. So the servant goes off happy, but then he sees someone who owes him just a little bit, and that person asks for mercy and compassion, but the servant's like, nah, and doesn't. And then the king hears about this, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, I showed you mercy. Why don't you show others mercy? And that's, Jesus was teaching that God is like this king for us, that he shows mercy to us, and he's so forgiving of us, of all of our mistakes and all the times we turn from him, all the sins, all our faults. He knows who we are, and he's still so merciful and has this mercy for us, so that we should also turn to our brothers and sisters and show that same mercy, because we want to be like Christ and like God, the loving Father. And through the sacrament of reconciliation, we really experience God's mercy in a powerful way. And through this sacrament, when we confess our sins, God hears them all, and he completely forgives us, and we are wiped clean of those sins, and we're able to start again. And we don't deserve this, but God is so loving. He's willing to give this to us and help us start afresh with him. So there's so many beautiful sacramental graces from the sacrament of reconciliation. So while in person I did go through that process of saying sorry to this person and reconciling with them, I also had to bring this to the sacrament of reconciliation and to God, and say, please forgive me of this and this, or holding this grudge against this person. So I had to get the full conclusion or resolution for this big ordeal, just to seal it with God. So that was my big healing experience with reconciliation just this year, and I really encourage you guys to make the most of the sacrament of reconciliation, as well as putting it into action after or before, and apologizing to people when we need to. All right, ciao.